the Green Bay Packers, did they find a new owner for the Chicago Bears? Is Jordan Love now the new owner of the Chicago Bears?
I mean, the Packers still own the Bears as of right now, so it looks like it. The way Jordan Love played, he took that time behind Aaron Rodgers, and he just really soaked in the knowledge. So, I mean, good on him. Like, this is probably going to be his make or break year. Like, if he didn't play well, he was probably gone.
All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Welcome to All About the Balls podcast. I'm Mark Davis, pumped up to be in the Sack House. Big weekend for football. Not my fantasy teams, but I'm joined alongside the three heartbeats that run this show: Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Chris, I start with you. You're repping your teams. We'll talk college later on in a couple days, but shout out to LSU. They beat Grambling, big bounce back win, and a sloppy win from the New Orleans Saints. But hey, it's the NFL. A win's a win, my dude. How are you doing tonight?
Mark, doing absolutely fucking fantastic. Great weekend of fucking sports. I mean, like you said, college, NFL. I beat some people in fantasy this week, Mark and Doc. I mean, I know me and Doc had a tough one. Mark kind of ran away with that one, but you came back. You came back towards the end. But hey,
third high score of the week. You were second. So I mean, what can I do there?
It was a great weekend of football.
Luke, shout out to you. You know, nail biter out there in Boise as UCF pulled up. Probably the best college kicker in the land right now. UCF. Yeah. Also, ugly win, I think, in my opinion, for the Ravens. They did turn up a little bit in the second half, but hey, a win's a win, like I told Chris. So how are you feeling coming out of this football weekend? The
stat board, it's all the same, and especially in the NFL, all you need to do is win. It doesn't matter how much you win by. So it's a win in the books right there. So I'll take it. A lot of injuries coming out of the Ravens, though. Some big time injuries. Probably gonna be missing like 5 starters going into next week, 4 to 5, depending if Andrews plays or not. So it's gonna be.
We will definitely talk. Yeah, headlines are going to be there for the Ravens.
Yeah. Right, Ravens injury bug is biting early this year.
And Doc, you might want to stick to Florida State because, I mean, shout out to you guys. Kicked the shit out of Southern Miss. Nothing expected there. I mean, it's all right. That's what we expected. But the Bears, maybe who they are. They are not who we thought they are. Maybe they're. We'll talk about that with overreaction time. But your fantasy team, like Chris said, you lost. You needed Dak to get literally just 1.01 more points. They benched him in the fourth quarter. The defense was so dominant. And you lost to Chris, who forgot to check sleeper. He had Christian Watson in. Don't know why he did that. Chris, I mean, we're going to change it to sleeper all next year anyway, so it's easy. But also had Drake London on there with a goose egg. Doc, how you feeling, my friend?
I'm here, Mark. I'm here. Got my drink, and that's pretty much where I'm at today.
All that shit talk you were doing, in our Dynasty League chat, and then, it just didn't work out. I mean, hey, you had a good week, though. Something to look forward to. Maybe you'll get lucky next week.
There ain't a whole lot to look forward to right now.
Hey, Florida State looks dominant.
Hey, number 3, by the way.
I can't even get excited over that.
Number 3 in the nation, Doc.
That doesn't even do it.
And I'm doing, boys, I'm doing great, too, just for my NFL and college team because the Atlanta Falcons are for the first time since the 2017 season, at any point of the season, we're above 500. We're back, boys. Our run game looks phenomenal. A little overreaction. Our passing game, not so much. But also, we're going to talk about it. Texas, number 4 in the fucking land. We're number 4 in the nation. Stopped Alabama and Tuscaloosa. So glad to see Alabama go down. I guess the only hope now is Kansas State or Oklahoma to make sure that Texas isn't back. So we're getting there, boys. Hey, and I know I said that Chris said he beat me, right? So let's say why. My Dynasty League I lost. Chris beat me pretty good because Dalvin Cook got hurt. Dalvin Cook did not get hurt. I'm sorry. The guy he was playing quarterback for got hurt. Aaron Rodgers, boys. Robert Saleh just confirmed he believes it's an Achilles and does not look good. How worried should the Jets be? And if he is out for the season, should they make a move at quarterback? And if they are going to make that option, who would y'all look at?
I don't know if they're going to be making a move. If they do make a move for quarterbacks, it's going to be for a backup. I think they roll with Zach Wilson here, with Aaron Rodgers at least being able to be in his left and right ear, telling him what's up. I mean, Zach Wilson didn't look terrible. I mean, he had a pretty rough outing, but hey, like everyone's saying, like he was probably running with the scout team this whole week. coming into this game. So this is his first time with the ones.
More breaking news. Robert Saleh just confirmed that Zach Wilson will be the starter if Aaron Rodgers is not. So I guess shoot that, like Chris said, maybe a backup, and that's it.
I got to be honest. I mean, I don't think it really matters who you put in there. You can put a sack of potatoes in there. It'll do a better job than Zach Wilson. I mean, this team is just – I don't care how good you are on both sides of the ball. With Zach Wilson at the helm, I mean, you are not a winning football team. Tonight obviously was a little lucky, but I think going forward this might become a 5-win team with if they're lucky with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing anybody
last year.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody that has like a better option than Zach Wilson. Somebody that's been on the team for a few years that knows his way around the facilities. Like you can go pick up some vet, but he's going to take him like at least a few weeks to get ready, anyways. Why don't you just roll with Zach Wilson? Somebody that's been there all training camp, and they'll still have Aaron Rodgers there to help coach him along. So.
And I don't want to hear – I mean, we all hate Zach Wilson. We don't think he's that good. But to be honest, he got thrown into the fire. Chris, I don't want to hear this excuse anymore for Joe Burrow because he played a great defense in Buffalo too, and he was thrown into the fire. He wasn't prepared to be the starter. And you know what? He had 14 of 21 for 140 yards, a touchdown, and yes, a pick. It was pretty bad, but he had a pretty good fourth quarter. And, him and Breece Hall had a pretty good fourth quarter, in my opinion.
A lot of young talent on the Jets.
Garrett Wilson had a great catch, too, in the end zone. That was a filthy grab out there in the corner.
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty clear why you don't roll with Zach Wilson as your quarterback. I mean, 2,300 yards in his first complete season with 13 games, 15 career touchdowns, 18 interceptions. I mean, the guy's just dog shit. I mean, I would probably take Sam Darnold over him. There's a lot of people that I would probably take my young cousin over Zach Wilson to hold the pocket down for the Jets. So, I mean, as far as who you got for an option, I mean, you're hurting, so nobody's going to sell cheap. I mean, there's plenty of rookies
there are free agents out there.
There are free agents, but there are guys taking a back seat. I mean, I'd have to go through the list and see more who's available. I mean, this obviously is developing.
Trey Lance is out there.
Yeah, Trey Lance, third string for Dallas, and maybe he could trade again. I mean, I know I mentioned Matt Ryan. I mean, I'm not saying it's because I'm a Falcons fan, but Matt Ryan's working for CBS. I mean, if the run game's there, maybe that benefit Matt Ryan. They have a lot of weapons, like Chris said. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you also have Carson Wentz out there.
Matt Ryan had an absolutely fucking terrible season last year.
Carson Wentz is probably a guy that they're going to go with if they go.
Did you see the run game and the pass protection?
You had an all-pro running back.
No. That all-pro running back was barely there. He got hurt most of the year. He
only missed like 4 games. We went over that. He only missed like 4 games in the middle of the season.
He missed like 7 games last year. And he was dog shit last year, too. He had 800 yards. So that's an all-pro running back, by the way. That's 800 yards. So it's not like he had a great year anyways. And Michael Pittman wasn't that good. The O-line sucked. So, I mean, I think the Jets O-line is a question mark, too.
Yeah, I mean, we can dig into it. We can dig into it when we go Jets-Bills, but, I mean, the Jets O-line is not very good as well, and we saw it in the opening drive, and probably why Aaron Rodgers is where he's at right now.
Well, I think that's the turf, and I think that's something that the NFL needs to revisit again. The players are already calling for it after, and it's Aaron Rodgers, so now they're definitely going to probably review this if the owners should put natural grass out there. But we'll see what the Jets are going to do. We have probably tomorrow maybe we'll hear more on the Pat McAfee show if he's still a guest there, if he's not getting surgery or whatever. So more to come with Aaron Rodgers. Luke, the Ravens took a massive hit too. You guys lost some players out there. Break that down for us, man.
Yeah, we got 2 starting O linemen down. Stanley and Linderbaum, so our left tackle and our fucking center. 2 guys that were our top 2 linemen and then we lost our safety, Marcus Williams. So he's probably be out for at least a few weeks, if not more. He's like tore his pec, and of course J.K. Dobbins just can't stay healthy. Guys touchdown and fucking exit the game just like Aaron Rodgers, but
J.K.'s back. JK's back?
Yeah, he was back.
You did say JK.
He was back at that point.
Hey,
to be honest, Lamar gonna find himself there if he don't stop fucking around with that football.
Yeah.
I don't know what that man was doing holding that ball out there.
Yeah, he put a couple on the ground, but at least he scored some points. At least the Ravens scored some points. So
he got 11 points before you started or before you had him in your starting lineup. So now it's the game, and we're gonna break down the fantasy after this episode. We're gonna have our own episode for it. But Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, their options out there for the Ravens. But question marks are always with the Ravens with injuries. It seems like now, Luke, you guys did fire your trainer. So I don't know what the excuse is now.
Hey, this is probably just like all the starters not playing preseason at all. Like we didn't start any starters at all in preseason except Zay Flowers. He's the only one who played. So
that was like my high school team. Like my high school team did.
What's that?
I was going to say it's like my high school team. Like they didn't hit until week 1 in the regular season. Like they didn't hit at all in practice.
Yeah, you get popped and you're like,
you're not ready for it.
Yeah. So
forgot what that felt like.
Yeah. Could have something to do with it, but
another injury too. Another big injury. Chris, you broke it down, and I'm pretty sure Daddy Aaron is going to be very happy when the Browns play them. But no Cam Hayward for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It seems like for about half the season, roughly. That's a pretty big loss for a team that was already struggling against the 49ers. It's a big blow to the Steel City.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge blow to the Steelers over there on their D-line. But I mean, also you're talking about Daddy A. I mean, he's also not going to be very happy when their right tackle Zach Conklin or whatever is also out for the season, which is a huge blow for the Browns O-line. So I mean, hey, big losses in that division.
Jack Conklin did get hurt for the year. He took that, he got that big paycheck too. So that's a big loss for like a guy like Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford, who's looking pretty decent. I know Luke was mentioning him in our yesterday when we were talking football, and Deshaun's gonna need him too because Deshaun looked a little lost, which we're gonna break that down too. And Doc, the Chiefs caved in. Chris Jones, 1-year extension with the Kansas City Chiefs. Not sure why they caved in so quick. Defense, in my opinion, didn't do that bad against the Lions, but Chris Jones is back. They should be getting Travis Kelce back too. Chiefs are about to get full effect now of their superstars.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, Chris Jones missing him is a huge piece of that defensive front. But, I mean, to see the offense so exposed without Travis Kelce, I mean, that's the only word I can think of with the Chiefs this week is exposed. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes had like receptions to 7 different receivers in the first half, which is great. I mean, you're able to spread the football out, but it really shows that lack of having that true top wide receiver, that guy that can step up and not just fill the role for Travis Kelce, but be a guy to take some of the pressure off of Travis Kelce and get him opened up more, right? I mean, a guy that you can actually rely on down the field. And, I mean, not bad numbers. I mean, no, I take that back. 21 of 39, 226 yards. I mean, a pair of scores, but I mean, just all the way around. I mean, their leading receiver had 4, which was Isaiah Pacheco in the check down. So, I mean, somebody's got to step up and be a leader for this team because Kelsey's also getting up there. I mean, I kind of can see the Zach Ertz decline coming in another year or two. I mean, the body's just getting older. It's just going to break down quicker. But, I mean, how many receivers?
No, the receivers look
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. If you had Kadarius Toney or God, what's his name? Sky Moore, I'm sorry. Fucking feel bad for you because God, they were dog shit Thursday night against the Lions.
Yeah, 5 targets to Kadarius Toney, 1 reception for a yard. 3 to Sky Moore, no receptions. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 2 targets. He caught both of his for 48 yards, but it's like there's nothing. I'm telling you, and I started saying it when they paid Patrick Mahomes all that money, and now they got money obviously going to Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, but where else are you gonna find money to pay people? They put all the money into these 3 guys, and they ain't got nobody else to be playmakers for them.
Yeah, I mean they got Kadarius Toney from New York, thinking he was going to step up to that number 1, and he clearly just did not do what they wanted him to do.
Hey, bring him to Chicago, man. 1 for 5, we're fucking set, dude. We'll take him.
It's not like Mahomes.
Chicago numbers.
It's not like Mahomes played a bad game. Like he was hitting these receivers in the hands, and it was just fucking drops.
There were a lot of drops. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pick 6 was because of Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. It tipped off his fingertips and.
It literally went through it. Like he caught it and like said, "Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, Brian Branch."
So Mahomes, like his stats don't look good, but he played a good game still. It just the fucking receivers screwed him over.
He was the leading rusher as well for his team. So
he is the offense.
Yeah, he's the offense. But boys, I know there was a lot of different directions that we could literally start the show as a week 1 recap. Things we saw, things we want to highlight. A lot of standouts. I know we're going to talk these quarterbacks that got paid. We're going to talk some dominant teams. But I say we start with the game of the week. And the Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, there's no better game this week. We saw fireworks after fireworks with the Chargers and Chiefs. I'm sorry, the Chargers and Dolphins. Tyreek Hill had a game-winning catch, perfect throw by Tua as well. And it seemed like the last team that was going to have the ball was going to win. Justin Herbert, who did get paid, I think he had an average game. I thought he was decent, but he took a bad intentional grounding, something you can't do as a starting quarterback, especially with needing a field goal to win the game after they missed the extra point. But, man, it's Tyreek Hill and Tua is going to be the show of the year. Is this what we're going to see every week for the Miami Dolphins? Because they just lit up the scoreboard.
The potential is definitely there as long as Tua can stay on his feet or at least keep his head off the turf. I mean, the potential is definitely there. When you got a 1-2 with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I mean, there's no excuse not to put up those kind of numbers. I mean, 70 total rushing yards for the Dolphins. Their leading rusher, 10 of 37 for Mostert. I mean, it's clear that first of all, this is a passing NFL right now. I mean, the passing game will dominate. Running it, and that's why running backs ain't getting paid. But I mean, Tua can definitely put up these numbers every single week. I mean, as far as Justin Herbert goes and the rest of the quarterbacks, I mean, I'm chalking this up for a week one. This isn't something that's uncommon in week one to see open week struggles. So I'm not going to put too much stock in all this, except for Justin Fields. Obviously, he will continue to probably be shit in the Chicago Bears. But yeah, no, I mean, if Tua can stay healthy, I'm excited to see this team this year.
I mean, big thing with going off what Doc's saying about Tua staying healthy. I mean, I think the big thing to note in this game was Tua didn't have any sacks, and he only got hit once, and that was when he rolled out and threw a pass, and a defender just came after the pass was thrown. So, I mean, Tua and the O-line did very good protecting Tua. Tua did good protecting himself, and hey, he balled out. I said it before, this game was going to be a shootout, two high-flying offenses, and that's what we ended up getting on that Sunday afternoon slot, which I think the afternoon slots were a lot better than the morning slots.
So
the morning slots were fucking atrocious.
So pissed that you drafted Tua in the redraft league.
Listen, I told you, you knew, everyone fucking knew
I did.
I was drafting Tua.
Hey, is it, I mean, we all want to talk overreactions. Overreaction is Tua and Tyreek Hill the best quarterback receiver duo in the league?
As of
healthy.
I mean, as of right now, yeah. I mean, no one else really had what they had. I mean, Tyreek 11 for 215 yards. It's literally fucking insane.
2 TDs too.
Yeah. Like what other quarterback wide receiver duo did that this week?
Yeah. You just can't guard Tyreek Hill. He's just too fast for everybody. And if Tua had a little more extra arm in him, it'd be fucking electric. Because a lot of times Tyreek Hill has to check up on the ball too. But
I'm watching these corners play press coverage against Tyreek, and like, first off, bad mistake already. And if you are going to play press and you don't even actually touch him at the line of scrimmage, like I saw, like they're just not even touching him, just letting him run by. Like that's pretty embarrassing to do. That was J.C. Jackson too, an All-Pro corner. Which shame on him, by the way. At the end of that first half, he allowed that field goal. He's the one that caused that PI, and you see that the Dolphins won by 2. So that field goal was very important. Chargers definitely screwed the pooch on that. But yeah, I don't know. Like Chris said, if Tua's healthy, I mean, Tua put up 466 yards. He had 2 turnovers, but his offense is so dynamic, and Tyreek's so fucking scary. It might be the best duo in the league.
This is the same thing that happened with the Dolphins last year. They were fucking started off hot, then Tua went down with his concussions and just fell apart. So if Tua stays healthy, this could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you have to say about it, Doc. Are you thinking best duo in the league? I mean, I know you said if Tua was healthy, but you didn't really touch on Tyreek.
I mean, definitely one of the top. I mean, I'd put him right up there with Burrow and Chase. I'd put him right up there. I mean, I don't think that Cousins is a top quarterback in the league per se. I mean, I thought he didn't play terrible this week. He had the yards, but I mean, him and Justin Jefferson, obviously. I mean, they're definitely up there as one of the top in the league.
Yeah, they're close second. Justin Jefferson still had 150 yards.
Yeah, he did. He had a nasty tackle, and he had a tackle too.
Yeah, he just fucking destroyed that dude.
Yeah, and Chris, you mentioned sloppy games. I mean, God, that was something I saw too, man. Like, it was just so bad. The first, like you said, the 1:00 games in Eastern time, it was just, there's a couple teams like the Niners that put up points, but like, it was just horrible to watch. I mean, I thought the Saints Titans would be a little higher score. I thought the Saints would have some offense rolling there. I was shocked. I mean, I think Atlanta might have been one of the top scoring teams in the 1:00 window, and we scored touchdowns at the end of the game. So it's like, and our offense sucked with the passing game. So it was just, I don't know, very sloppy. I know it's week 1, but you still expect some fireworks. I don't mind defense. It's just you want some offense too. I like to see a balance out there with these games, and it just was sloppy all around.
Yeah, I mean, most of the offenses in the 1 o'clock slot just kind of, I mean, they just looked like they were pretty much out of sync. And if that's have to do with a lot of starters aren't playing in preseason anymore. They might play a drive, they might play just a little bit, but like most of these teams are coming out here, and this is their first go ahead with that offense. I mean, Derek Carr, that's what he looked like in the Saints game. It took him a little bit to start like understanding his receivers. And then, but I mean, the Saints defense played lights out. I mean, holding a team to not having any touchdown and Derrick Henry only having 63 yards was great to see for as a Saints fan.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad all around. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, Luke's team struggled in the beginning of the game. I mean, my team struggled. The Falcons didn't look too hot. Chris, like you just mentioned, the Saints, Doc. I know it's a later window, but the Bears looked like shit the whole game. So, I mean,
and I want
week 1 jitters.
Dude, I envy you sons of bitches for having excuses for why your team is dog shit or why you might lose a game or whatever the case is, okay? Because we don't have that. We just suck.
I mean, it's a time. Let's talk about it, boys. I mean, was Rizlov right? Were we wrong about the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers? Are the Packers going to be better than we thought? And are the Bears going to be worse than we thought? Because we were all high on the Bears and we were all a little low on the Packers.
No, I think the Packers. Just played a very inexperienced, low team chemistry opponent this week. I think the Bears got a long way to go. There's a lot of new faces in Chicago this week. A lot of stuff is still coming together, still gelling. At this point, I mean, once the team come together, they're going to be a much stronger team. The only thing really holding them back right now is the play calling. I mean, Justin Fields even came out and said that the play call or the game plan this week was not vertical passing. I don't fucking understand why you would handcuff yourself and say, guys, look, we're only looking for the flat. We're only looking for checkdowns. I don't get it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Luke Getsy, I mean, I gotta assume that Luke Getsy just was like, I'll tank against my old team and give him a dub. I worked with Jordan Love in the past. I got to give him his first win. That's the only thing I could think of because this was absolutely fucking atrocious. And there's no excuse for why you would refuse to try to make plays down the field when you got a new number 1 receiver, Darnell Mooney looking to get back into the mix. Cole Kmet is stepping up in huge ways for Chicago. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like fucking Rain Man over here trying to figure this shit out. But absolutely embarrassing. This team's got to be better than this. This is unacceptable.
I mean, Jordan Love came out looking phenomenal. I mean, the 3 years he sat behind A-Rod looks like it paid off. Like he might be able to be that franchise quarterback for Green Bay.
Nope.
I mean, I think
he looked good yesterday. He made some good throws.
I think
he made Aaron Rodgers type throws yesterday.
I think a lot of people disagree. And then on the other hand, Justin Fields, I'm not sure what
I don't give a shit. I'm not going to admit it. All right, I'm not going to fucking admit it. That's all that matters.
Chris, Jordan Love played basketball. He played basketball with the football, bounced it like he was dribbling, and still threw a dime to the tight end Luke Musgrave out there. So
yeah, and then just like and then Justin Fields leading Chicago rushing. I mean, you have running backs, right? That isn't your quarterback.
So we have running backs. His name is Justin Fields.
Yeah, Rizlov says that's a running back playing quarterback. He always says it. So
yeah,
it's simple. It's simple. The Bears are either going to come together and improve, or they're going to play like they did last year. And Caleb Williams # first overall pick.
I mean, Fields did not look comfortable. I mean, I get you invest in the O-line, but he just didn't look comfortable.
He doesn't have an excuse anymore. If he doesn't put it together this year, I mean, I don't even give a shit about the play call because honestly, even with the game plan being to not pass vertically, I mean, eventually you still find open receivers down the field. And if you're not, thing is, you could look at him and tell he wasn't even looking down the field. The problem was that immediately went into the scramble, just like he has in the past, immediately moving in the pocket, does not set his feet, cannot let the play develop. So, he's the only one holding himself back at this point. So he's either going to step up and be better, or we're going to shit the bed and we're going to have 2 really good draft picks next year. And we'll make some improvements another way.
I mean, when we were doing fantasy, I mean, I even said Fields was the worst deep throw passer accurate wise last year. So, I mean, it's hard to want to go vertical when your quarterback can't throw vertical.
I don't think the problem was so much the quarterback couldn't throw vertical, though. I think the receivers are having a problem getting open, I think, is more than anything.
I
mean, you can see the early
invested in their receivers too, and it just didn't pan out this game.
You can see the
receiver only had 53 yards.
Yeah,
you could see the obvious frustration in DJ Moore early in this one. I mean,
taking cheap shots.
Cheap shots against who, buddy? Cheap shots against who?
Yeah, Jared Alexander. I don't give a shit what Justin Fields is doing. Just because you're in bounds, if you want to give yourself up, slide.
No. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not even talking about. You want to talk about a fucking cheap shot? Look at Jair's cheap shot to DJ Moore on his way off the sideline. No, he fucking ran into the back of him. Get out of here. Don't play me with that bullshit. Come on.
Hey,
you're better
than that.
Go,
baby. Hey,
you're
Luke.
I
was going to ask you. Does the Green Bay Packers, did they find a new owner for the Chicago Bears? Is Jordan Love now the new owner of the Chicago Bears?
The Packers still own the Bears as of right now, so it looks like it. The way Jordan Love played, he took that time behind Aaron Rodgers, and he just really soaked in the knowledge. So, I mean, good on him. Like, this is probably going to be his make-or-break year. Like, if he didn't play well, he was probably gone. So, it's good for Jordan Love. I like to see it.
He did. He missed some good back shoulder throws too.
Yeah, and
Romeo Dobbs too. Shout out to
their receiving core is not that great, so it's not like
Romeo Dobbs played a good game.
I mean, their leading receiver was Aaron Jones, the running back.
Yeah, but that's also that's because he had one big drop off catch.
Two receptions.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But he was spreading the love. I know, Chris. I think you were high on Jaden Reed, right? He had 5 targets. Luke Musgrave had 4. Romeo Dobbs had 4, and this isn't even counting Christian Watson. He wasn't even playing. So you still have Christian Watson, who had a pretty good year last year, the second half of the season. So maybe we're wrong on the Packers. Their defense looks pretty good, or maybe that was just the Bears' offense being bad. Like I said, it's only week 1, so we only have week 1 to judge.
I thought the Packers were going to be shit, but they looked pretty good.
Speaking of being shit, yeah, they were eating some cheese. They were eating bears, Chris. They were hunting some bears, and they took them out, and they put some cheese spread on them motherfuckers, and they ate them up. But, hey, we're talking about poor play and the QBs that got paid. You had Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Herbert. They all played pretty bad yesterday. Recording Monday, so yesterday. I know Hurts and Lamar got some wins out there, but in my opinion, CJ Stroud outperformed Lamar Jackson. Mac Jones outperformed Jalen Hurts. Are we worried right now through week 1 with these QBs that got paid? I mean, Geno didn't have a great game, like I said. So Danny Dimes looked like shit against the Cowboys. I think he was the worst QB of the week, honestly. But are we worried about these QBs that got paid?
I mean, I think the biggest quarterbacks right now that I'm worried about, and I voiced it, is Geno, number 1. I mean, I think last year it was just kind of a flash in the pan with him. He got his contract. I didn't think he was fantastic, but he was good enough to get another contract. And then Danny Dimes, I mean, goddamn. He
had a rough day.
He looked absolutely fucking terrible. I don't know if I would put Herbert in this. I mean, I think he played.
He was decent. He was average.
He played good. And then I think Lamar and Joe, they're going to bounce back. And then Hurts. I mean, Hurts.
He played against Patriots. And Patriots defense is Belichick. Belichick knows how to take away what you do great. That's Bill Belichick. I mean, we've all seen it for 20 plus years now, so we know what that's capable of. We'll see Hurts on Sunday or Thursday night against the Vikings, but yeah, Chris, I'm not worried about Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, but those other two, like you said, Geno and Danny Dimes, I don't worry about them.
No, and we get to see Danny Dimes in 3 more primetime games over the next 5 weeks. God. So we get blessed. We get blessed.
I find the irony in them playing the video talking about Brian how Dabble came in and claimed it. They did a whole animation with the garbage sweeper truck and everything, or a street sweeper truck, talking about he's coming in, he cleaned up the turnovers, cleaned up this and that, and then like 2 plays later he throws a pick six at the Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
Well, that pick six was not his fault though. Like that was in Barkley's hand, and as soon as he caught it, Diggs hit the ball up perfectly. It wasn't.
Oh, I don't even care. I'm just strictly talking the humor and the animation right before talking about it, and then you get a pick six for the Cowboys. Couldn't have scripted that any better.
Yeah, the Ravens. Some of the biggest issues I saw with the Ravens was like the penalties for the Ravens. Ravens had damn near fucking 90 yards of penalties. And those penalties, a lot of them were like big drive-killing penalties. So put them behind the sticks a lot, and they just weren't able to do it. Lamar had a couple of ball security issues. He had one fumble he lost, another fumble that we got back, and he threw his pick. He was trying to force the ball and threw it a little low, and the cornerback made a good play on it.
It's because he's running out into the tackle, holding the ball out in front of him. Like, what are you doing?
He just didn't look. He didn't look comfortable. He looked like kind of Justin Fields. He looked unsettled. That's
part of not playing preseason at all. Plus, Mark Andrews not out there, so you got your leading wide receiver not really playing. Kind of throws things around. But I think the Ravens will get it figured out. Big injuries, as we already mentioned. So they got to have some of these new young guys step up next week.
You have a big game next week. I know we're going to talk about that when we make those scores, but Joe Burrow, Lamar, like we said, they might both bounce back, but big rivalry for those two, and they both need it next week.
Always pretty close games, too, between them two.
AFC North, always good football. I mean, besides one AFC North matchup this week, but
Except
those dirty elves.
Dirty elves fucking playing.
I found it funny.
Elves?
I found it funny that Chris said, Jamar Chase will easily have over 70. Joe Burrow barely had over 70 passing yards. It was the irony right there. It's just so funny. I found it funny when it happened, just because you made the comment on Chase. I'm like, man, Burrow didn't even get almost 70 almost.
I mean, it's Jamar. You expect him to have over 70. That's the number one for Joe. I mean, and this just shows, and I even said in the Instagram chat, was like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals lose this. They always start off slow, and they start off slow because Joe's usually always hurt in preseason, so doesn't play. Doesn't play practice.
Joe Burrow doesn't do training camp. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's all about being in sync, and I think they were definitely out of sync. So
at least Joe Burrow didn't score the least amount of points this week. I mean, at least he put a field goal up there. Like I said, Danny Dimes put 0 up. So he was playing, and he was still playing when it was 40-0. Like, what are you doing? You just paid this quarterback a lot of money. You sat Saquon, so you show how more valuable he is. But you're keeping your fucking $40 million a year quarterback out there. That's stupid.
Well, I think that's just because Danny played so fucking horrible. You got to try to get something going. Get something good to at least go into that week of practice saying, like, hey, this is what we did good at least. But they didn't get anything good.
It didn't work.
It
didn't work.
But the Battle of Ohio was just pretty a shitty game just all around. Both teams, it's pretty much all defense. Like, fucking the defense was, like, living in the backfields of both teams. So it was pretty rough. Like, Deshaun Watson didn't have that good of a game either. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, one passing, one rushing, but he still went 6 for 29. I mean, 16 for 29. So it's not great.
Yeah, and I mean, I would need a little fact check, but I think Ohio pretty much owns Cincinnati. I think they're like 5-1 or 6-1 against the Bengals these past 3 years. So
I think it's now 6-7, if I'm not mistaken. I think I heard that over the booth too.
It's personal for them.
Yeah, so
I still don't know how you don't fucking remember I don't know how you don't know the name. Like, you get a fucking playbook, like Josh Cripps said. Like, you get the fucking playbook of not the playbook of the team, but you have a game plan. It says the team's name on it you're playing against. And how the fuck do you not know what the Cleveland Browns their name are? It's one of the most historic.
He's full of shit.
He's taking after Tyreek's and he doesn't look at the playbook.
Jesus.
He might want to start looking at the playbook because he had a fucking terrible game.
Hey, but I saw something cool too. That these teams that dominate, like, who do you think was the most dominant team? I mean, we had the Cowboys, the Niners. Well, you had the Packers, you had the Rams look pretty good. I don't know. There's some good dominant teams out there this week.
Nobody's more dominant than the Cowboys. Like, the Cowboys defense
defense was dominant.
Yeah.
All right, let's square that up.
They were.
Well, the offense didn't have to do much though. Yeah.
Well, Tony Pollard.
They didn't have to do much, Mark. They didn't have to do much, but they didn't do shit.
Hey, Tony Pollard was pretty dominant too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
70 yards, 2 tutties. So
yeah, obviously the Cowboys looked completely fucking dominant, But I mean, the Niners, they didn't score as much as the Cowboys, but the Niners looked pretty great on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I think they were a much more complete team.
And played a better offense, too. I mean, coming into the season, we expected Pittsburgh to be better than the Giants on the offensive side.
Yeah, they were playing the preseason Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, everybody's hating on Big Cock Rock, too. Look at him. He's just fucking out there dealing. He was dealing that ball out there. Like, dude looked like a fucking professional football player out there, quarterback. So
no, he looked good. I'll give
Buddy, 19 to 29 for 220 yards. Let's calm down. He
made some good throws.
Let's calm down. I'm not saying he didn't. Let's calm down with Big Cock Rock on 19 to 29 for 220 yards.
Not many QBs had great stats this week, and it's more of the eye test of what you saw, what he was doing, the type of throws he made. That's what I was impressed.
He looked comfortable. Like he didn't seem like he was like under like too much pressure either, even with TJ Watt coming at him.
And shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, what you were just about to say, Mark. I think the biggest surprise that came out of this game, I know me and you were talking about it, was that Brandon Ayuk looked like the number one and not Deebo Samuel.
I think he is a better natural receiver. I'm not saying he's a better all-around player because Deebo does such of the little things, but as a pure receiver going down and getting the ball, I think Ayuk is potentially better. I mean, we saw it last year through like a whole stretch of the season. He was getting a lot of good looks, a lot of catches. I don't know. I think it's time for Brandon Ayuk to say he is the number one receiver on the 49ers.
I mean, he looked like he had the most talent in wide receivers in this game.
And he had a big block for Chris McCaffrey down the field. That block he laid out for him to set up that big touchdown run, and he ran down with McCaffrey. That was big, too.
I loved it, especially on fantasy.
Yeah, I was hoping that wasn't a touchdown.
I loved having Ayuk in fantasy, too. Oh,
did you start him?
Yeah, I did. For our redraft.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's part of the reason I got 165 points.
Doc, the most dominant team to use the Packers? Or
no, I think the most all around. Yeah, fuck you. You had to go there.
I mean, they look good. I mean, them and the Rams. We're not counting the Rams or the Packers. I mean, there are two teams that look good.
Packers look like shit. We fucking made the Packers look better than they are.
The Rams look good though. I was surprised on the Rams. Maybe Chris is on to something too, but the Rams. I told
you.
Stafford actually played a good game.
Chris didn't pick them and pick'ems, or our weekly picks here on the show, but the Rams did look good.
Not that high if you didn't pick them.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's week one, dude. Like, how we feel about our teams too, I guess. I mean, I know we kind of talked Ravens a little bit. We talked a little about the Bears. Chris, Saints. How you feeling? I mean, your defense looked good. I mean, Marshall allowed a more crazy interception too.
Yeah, I mean, the turnover game, I think we had 3 turnovers. I mean, to start the game, fucking Rashid Shaheed fucking fumbled off the opening kickoff, and I was like, as an LSU fan, I was like, here we fucking go. And but hey, no, but LSU has special team issues also.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, here we go. But I mean, the defense came. I mean, the defense held the Tennessee Titans to only field goals. I mean, they had 3 turnovers. They should have had a lot more. Ryan Tannehill looked very bad this game. Very bad this game.
Someone put him on the trading block on Dynasty.
He had 3 interceptions, right?
He had 3 interceptions and probably should have had 5 or 6. It was pretty bad.
Let's get Will Levis in there.
Well, he wasn't even dressed. I mean, he was dressed because of the rule, but he wasn't active unless the QB got hurt. So Malik Willis was the number 2.
Yeah, oh, wow. And then for the offense, I think Carr just needs a little bit more time getting in sync with the new offense. I think we'll be okay. But I mean, I think the biggest thing I got out of this game, and it's not Saints related, it was that, and I was telling you on when we were playing Call of Duty about Tajee Spears. I mean, he had more snaps and was on the field more than Derrick Henry was, which was a little worrisome.
Do you think it's them trying to limit Derrick Henry too, and not overload him in the first game so he can make it through a season? Because Derrick Henry has been fucking getting gassed out during seasons. Like he hasn't been able to be that workhorse anymore.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. I mean,
I think they got him on a pitch count.
I mean, I don't know about on pitch count, but it's just Derrick Henry would open up a big run and then they would just pull him to the sideline. So I mean, I
get
don't
some
know.
oxygen.
I don't know.
He's tired.
Yeah,
He's a big boy.
I mean, Tajay Spears phenomenal and out of Tulane, but I mean, when you have Derrick Henry, just feed him the ball. I mean,
I think the theme of the day was just the Titans making poor decisions all the way around. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that was. They might have been one of the only teams to play worse than the Bears in Week 1. So I mean, and that's an exclusive list to be a part of.
well, it wasn't that they played bad. It was just Tannehill fucking played horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, there was two plays. Tajay Spears was open on a wheel route, would have been a touchdown. Then their tight end Akunkawa, whatever you say his name, he was open for another tutty. I mean, Ryan Tannehill just. We're definitely going to be seeing Will Levis by the end of this season.
And
I don't think we're going to be waiting that long.
I want to see if we get Will Levison. I want to see him get like a mayonnaise packet, like put it in his back pocket, and when he gets like a Russian TD, I want him to open that bitch up and just fucking eat it. Just fucking eat the mayonnaise
right there in the end zone, dude. That'd be beautiful.
Just let Helms pay the fine for that. Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, I think it was. You guys were focused on Derrick Henry. I mean, you guys really were. I mean, and why wouldn't you be? I mean, he's the offense. I mean, I know they have Hopkins there, and I feel bad for. I mean, I don't feel bad for him. I guess he chose to go there. But teams like Kansas City, they didn't even call him back. Like, they did not call him back. So now they're probably regretting it a little bit. But I feel bad for DeAndre Hopkins, man. Like he's in a bad situation. Unless Will Levis
don't know why he chose that team.
Probably money.
I mean,
this furthered it.
And it's not like that D-Hop didn't have a chance to make plays. I mean, he was getting the ball thrown to him, and Marshawn wasn't following him around. I mean, he was in the slot with Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor, which are Alontae Taylor's first season truly playing a slot corner. So I mean, D-Hop should have feasted, honestly, and he just didn't.
Yeah, it was bad. Chris, Atlanta got a W this week too, man.
Hold on, Mark. What's the record for the NFC South?
Oh, we are currently 3-1. We are tied with the best division in football. I have written down here. We are tied with the NFC East. Oh, we're the NFC East and the NFC South, which used to both be the two worst divisions, are now the only divisions with 3-1 record. The AFC West and the AFC South 1-3. The NFC North, AFC North 2-2. AFC East 2-2. The NFC West 2-2, the AFC West is 1-3. Yeah. So I mean, good. Hey, the Panthers had to lose because the Falcons had to win. Just the way it works when you play each other. But the Baker Mayfield Bucks got a big win out there in Minnesota. He looked good in the fourth quarter. He had some big throws there, set up a game-winning field goal. And Chris, your team won. The Falcons might have, like kind of like what the Jets have right now. We might have a good 1-2 punch. I know after the 1 o'clock window, they were both top 6. Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. Bijan to me reminds me of more of the Kareem Hunt, and Algier's more of the Nick Chubb type role. Algier he looked good. He averaged, I think, just a couple less, like average wise than Bijan, like literally points, like not that much. And Bijan, fucking filthy juke out there on his first career touchdown from Desmond Ridder. I think Atlanta's onto something. Now, if you stop our run, I'm not confident right now with this pass protection. It's nothing against Desmond Ridder. It's just that when you're on your back foot and you're already getting hit, it doesn't matter who the QB is. To me, it's pathetic how you can block for the run, but you can't block for the pass. So Jesse Bates, 2 interceptions, also caused a fumble. So I like what I see there in Atlanta. Like I said, first time since 2017, we are above 500 at any point in the season. Doc, your team wouldn't know about that right now, man, because we're all above 500 right now.
Since what year did you say?
2017.
Oh, no, I think I know about being above 500 since 2017.
No, I think the Falcons. I think the Falcons look good. I mean, already making an impact with Bates, 3 turnovers overall in the game. I mean, their secondary definitely stepped up. I think, like you hit on the nail, Mark, y'all definitely have that 1-2 punch. Bijan looked nasty. Tyler Algier is still looking very, very dominant. I'm gonna have to. I mean, he's forcing my hand to play him in fantasy now. So gonna have
fucking
to
hunger. The hunger is there, man. This is a guy that came out, 1,000-yard season. This guy came out, said, I am not just going to sit back and take a back seat like this. He came out, got his. I mean, this is going to be a very exciting backfield to watch.
And I'm not mad. I mean, they both got productions. I know Algier had more rushing attempts, but Bijan didn't have that many.
Bijan got his.
He got his, and he got some. I mean, there weren't that many. It was like 6 for like 16 or something like that. But he's going to get looks. And if we have the protection there, he's going to get more yards too. I like how they have Bijan and Algier out there at the same time. You put Bijan on the flex, we're going to see what he can do.
Yeah, the only thing I ask is for Desmond Ridder to throw to Drake London once or twice, That's all I ask. And then I think on the other side of the ball,
you clearly don't need it.
Which I think Doc isn't going to be too happy about is that I think Carolina might be a sneaky good team this year. I mean,
I don't know. Can y'all beat me up a little bit more? Y'all beat me up just a little. Like, give me just a little bit more.
Their defense will keep them in games towards like the first few quarters. Like you said, Brian Burns looked amazing. Young made some decent plays, but he got baited in with Jesse Bates. Ironic, Bates baited him, but I think he made plays. But like I said, Bates he out experienced him essentially, and that's what it came down to.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I was texting in the group chat earlier is that I think Carolina's coaching staff needs to rely more on the run. I mean, they did run a little bit better, not better, but I mean, they had more rushing yards than the Falcons this game, but they need to rely heavily. They need a couple more carries. Like what? Fucking.
We average more rushes we average more yards per attempt. So
okay, point two yards. That's literally Luke's dick length. Okay, so.
Point 2 yards. That's actually there's some respect on that.
That's 2 yards. I'm hyping him up. Y'all think I'm talking shit about him? I'm hyping my boy up.
Let me see here. What is?
Jesus,
you look that one up, Doc. But
to a yard.
But I think.
Luke. Luke, that ain't bad, dude. That ain't bad, bro. 7.2 inches.
Oh,
fuck yeah, Luke.
Luke's like, oh shit, I'll take that. I'll take that any day.
I'm about to hop on OF now. I think
that's twice with my.
I think Carolina needs to rely more on the run and give Bryce some time to sit back. He needs a little bit more experience in the NFL, like you said. I think Bates played him a couple times.
Same type interception too. They were the same identical type of interception.
I think Bryce is going to be great in the NFL, honestly. He was showing some of the plays back in his Alabama days. I think he just needs the experience. I think Carolina is going to be not a playoff team, not a wild card team, but they're there.
I think that they need. I think they need the opposite. I think they need to go and just fucking tank. And okay, so you're not going to have like the first pick, but I mean you'll have the first pick in all the other rounds, so that accounts for something.
I mean, if we're talking rookie QBs, Chris, I thought Anthony Richardson, I thought AR looked phenomenal. I mean, I'm not saying, not phenomenal. Let me take that back. I thought he looked really good. I thought he looked comfortable out there in the backfield. He's definitely athletic. He needs to learn how to slide a little bit. But I thought out of the three rookie QBs, yes, they all lost. I thought AR looked good. I thought him and Pittman had good chemistry. I think he is actually a better thrower than we thought when it comes with the starters out there. And him and CJ Stroud play each other, so someone will get a win this week in the rookie class. But I don't know. I was very impressed with AR out there and for the QBs, for the rookie side at least.
Yeah. Well, even with that, CJ Stroud played a pretty good game for going against a pretty tough defense. He still had 242 yards passing. I mean, he didn't have any like crazy like passes. He has a lot of checkdowns, intermediate passes, but still he was picking apart our defense pretty well.
Yeah, he was. I was telling Chris, I was like, dude, C.J. Stroud's playing just as good as Lamar Jackson. I mean, he was actually, to me, I thought he outperformed Lamar Jackson, but he didn't have a touchdown or anything like that. But I thought he made some good throws out there to Nico Collins and Robert Woods. They both had some pretty big catches out there.
Yeah, I think probably 10-yard pass range. He was eating it up. So, I mean, we had a couple people out in our secondary, so our safety and our top safety and our top corner both out this game, but still, he did pretty well.
Yeah, I think Cooter drew up a perfect plan for AR over in Indianapolis. He looked great. He can run the ball. He's gonna be a great fantasy quarterback right there. And then CJ, I mean, he looked phenomenal too. And going into CJ, I think a big thing is I don't think the Cardinals and the Texans are gonna be a pushover like everyone thought they were.
And we keep forgetting too, Chris, that Shane Steichen, the coach of the Colts, helped progress Jalen Hurts. We keep forgetting that. So he's got the chemistry with these young type, like mobile type quarterbacks that have decent arms. And if they put together with him, they work with Shane Steichen, it looks like they can make the the potential to actually be decent quarterbacks in the league.
Hey, Josh Dobbs almost pulled off a win for the Cardinals too after only being there for a week.
Yeah,
he almost did it.
Saying, I don't think the Cardinals and the Texans are a pushover like everyone's saying. And like I said, and I said in other podcasts, is I think the Cardinals are going to get more than one win, especially when Kyler Murray gets back.
Well, when does he get back, though? That's the thing. Their defense looked good, by the way. I know it's the Commanders, but they looked good.
They were a Zach Ertz catch away from winning that football game.
I mean, they did choke, though, a little bit. They were up like 6 in the fourth quarter at one point. They had to score 10 points, really, to win the game. But look, you go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say it makes my Survivor picks even harder now.
God, we are one person lost. Shout out to you, Cody Husband. Chose the Vikings.
Yeah, there's tough. No gimmies in Survivor.
Yeah,
well, that's tough.
No gimmies.
We have about 10 or 15 minutes left. We were talking about rookies. Luke, I'd start with you. Maybe one of the best rookies of the week. I mean, I think he's your rookie standout. But Zay Flowers looked like Steve Smith out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's going to be our number one wide receiver too. Like he was getting all the looks from Lamar. So we fed him early. We fed him often. He's shifty. He's like a little mini Steve Smith out there when he gets the ball. He's feisty. He plays so hard for a small guy. Yeah. So I like it. He had 80 yards? Let me see.
78.
Yeah, 78 yards on 9 receptions. Yeah.
That's not bad, dude.
So he had a good
game.
Came
down with 9 and 10. Came down with 9 out of 10 targets. So, I mean, Zay Flowers, I was big on this guy when they picked him up in the draft, and I think we talked about that. I was very excited to see Zay Flowers coming. Very excited to see Baltimore actually get a potential number one wide receiver because I don't think it's Odell.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's shit, but his knees are 60 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Odell only had 2 receptions for 37 yards.
Celebrate too on that catch.
I mean, not a bad pickup. When you went from having no offensive. I mean, Bateman not bad, but I mean, you went from having virtually no receiving targets other than a tight end to drafting a true number one. I think a guy that can be a true number one, Odell, and pick up in the offseason. And then if Andrews comes back, I mean, there's a lot of depth now that you can spread the ball around.
If anything, Odell is just going to be a decoy. Just his name alone is going to garner his attention, anyways.
And if he don't get it, then they'll fall off of him, and then he'll get some
open.
I want to see Zay Flowers with the deep ball connection with Lamar. I know it's week 1, so we're going to see it at some point, but I want to see it build because Zay Flowers, man, like you said, he's feisty, dude. He's fast as shit, and he's shifty too. Like I'm watching him, and he's like making these moves, like he's like literally like a little like fucking like race car, and he's just shifty. I just don't get it, man.
I mean, I think the biggest thing right now is I'll address it in the fantasy is that we got to slow down a little bit on Flowers, is because when Bateman gets in there, when Andrews gets in there,
Bateman played.
Bateman played, but once he gets established and Andrews is back in there, Flowers isn't going to see that 40% target share.
I think Bateman
almost 50%.
I think Bateman takes the hit. I think Bateman takes the hit.
Yeah, because Lamar is still throwing to the tight ends like this game, so it's not like he just stopped throwing tight ends because Andrews wasn't out there. Isaiah likely had a couple targets. Kohler had some targets.
1.
Oh, well,
I think likely had 2, but it's not Mark Andrews is the point.
But it's just getting open. I mean, you can't fault the guy that got 10 targets because, like Mark said, he was cutting up out there and found a way to get open against the secondary. I mean, you can't. The guy he put on the moves. I mean, the guy he played a phenomenal game.
Who says he can't get those targets? Maybe it's just him and the Mark Andrews show. I mean,
and he's going against a pretty good corner.
That's what I'm saying. He's getting the targets because he got open. You can't fault Zay Flowers because nobody else in the team can get open. Just because Mark Andrews is gone doesn't mean that Lamar's back here like, nah, fuck the tight ends, dude. Y'all ain't getting shit. Like, no, you get open, you're going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Yes. Derek Stingley's not a soft like corner either to go against.
No, he's
not.
Good last year. His rookie year last year.
But you're adding another probably elite tight end to the mix, where instead of
that could also open Zay Flowers even more because Mark Andrews is going to draw us attention.
I don't think that anybody that you add to the fold, I don't think is gonna open Flowers anymore. I think that this was an eye opener for the NFL, seeing the rookie come out here in his first game, get 10 targets, 9 receptions. Whether Andrews came back next week or whether Odell starts getting some targets or whatever, because it's not just oh, he's targeting him. It's the fact that, okay, this guy can get open. We got to watch out for him. We got to get a better corner on him. We can't get burned for 90% of his targets getting caught. It doesn't really matter who comes back and plays. The guy, if he gets open like that, so they're going to have to find a way to start covering him better.
So when Andrews, let me get this right. So when Andrews gets back in the game, Flowers is still going to get 40% target share.
It's going to come down to who gets open. It's going to come down to who gets open.
I think percentage wise, is going to go down, but I think the percentage for other guys are going to go down too, and it's going to keep him more elevated. He might not get 10 targets, but I think he's going to get 6 or 7 targets a game. Andrews will probably get 8 or 9. And then
remember, Lamar also only threw 22 passes in the entire game.
I mean, that's true too.
We did.
So, I mean, are you talking a percentage number? Is he going to get 40%? No, probably not. Can he still get 10 targets a game? No, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
no,
true
I'm not over here saying that Flowers is bad. But I'm over here saying that Flowers shouldn't be put into your number one. We'll deep dive this in fantasy.
Flex.
No. I wouldn't sell. No, yeah.
Should you start Flowers? Yeah, probably.
Hey,
you should probably.
The only team I dominate in. My team name is Sunshine and Flowers because I have Trevor Lawrence and Zay Flowers. And guess what? Zay Flowers might become my fucking flex spot now, even though I dominated. I had him on the bench, but I'm prepared to start him now. But I think you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm changing topic to a different rookie.
Oh, I was because you said Sunshine and Flowers, and I just that scene from Step Brothers where he's like, "Change your face." That's how I feel about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he reminds me of Avatar, to be honest, one of the Avatar characters.
You can't do nothing about it, but do something about it.
But I was gonna say though, I thought he might not be better career wise, but I think a better rookie receiver, Luke and everyone, Puka Nacua from the Los Angeles Rams.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. 10 catches for 119 yards, 5th round pick out of BYU. Played a couple years with the Huskies as well at Washington. But dude, this guy was fucking phenomenal. Stafford was all over him. And maybe when Cooper Kupp gets back, if he ever does, maybe his volume stays high too, because he was playing pretty good yesterday against the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I know, Doc. Look it up. Puka Nacua. We're gonna, like Chris said, we're gonna talk about these guys later on. Guy had 15 targets, had 10 for 119. I don't know. I think he is my early rookie of the week for at least offense, probably defense too, but overall rookie. I thought he was the best rookie of this draft class so far. Through week 1.
Yeah, no, Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell, they both came out of fucking nowhere and dominated this game.
I think everybody that performed in that Rams game, I think you can say he came out of nowhere.
Who was?
I think anybody on that Rams team that came out and put up numbers, you can say came out of nowhere.
I think Cam Akers, so we're going to talk about that in the next episode, but
I hate to see it because I'm big on Geno Smith. I still am. I'm going to chalk this up to another week 1 kind of everybody. A lot of quarterbacks were shit. A lot of teams were shit that shouldn't have been. The prime example being Cincinnati, obviously. But yeah.
Hey, quick before we sign out though. Quick over. What was that, Chris?
I'll switch it up real quick. A rookie to put on, not on the offensive side. Jalen Carter. Okay.
Hit a sack,
one sack, 7 quarterback pressures, an absurd 32% pass rush win rate with most pressures by any D tackle in week 1 and most pressures by any rookie D tackle in a game over 5 years.
Well, everybody knew that he was an animal. Everybody knew he was going to bring that kind of energy. It was just who was going to take the chance on him. And honestly, if a team was going to take a chance on him getting arrested again and pulled off the field, I mean, Eagles got depth. They can afford to lose somebody.
Their defensive line is already stacked, and they just got more.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean,
fuck it. We can roll the dice.
He's the only guy. He's not like he's a lone wolf out there doing it. He's got a fucking stacked line with him, helping him out.
It's a big motherfucker too. Hey, Will Anderson, Chris had a big game too for Texans. He had a sack as well with 6 tackles. So he brought Lamar Jackson down on the ground one time. But yeah, some of these rookies, man, like it's week 1. Jordan Addison had a big touchdown. We already mentioned the quarterbacks. Bijan had a pretty good game. As I said, Zay Flowers, I'm high on him. And Christian Gonzalez, Chris, had a sack and a big pass breakup too towards the end of the game. So I know you're hot on Mr. Gonzalez for the Patriots. So big game for him too.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud cornerback for the Patriots for a long time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he might be the next. He might be the new number one out there for like. I mean, they go through corners a lot though. They just don't pay him really. They just let him walk. So maybe they'll keep this kid out of Oregon. But before we sign out, I mean, we have a couple minutes. Hey, quick one overreaction that you guys saw from Week 1. It includes Monday night's game. I'm going to go there. Buffalo Bills fucking suck. That's my overreaction. They are dog shit. I know the Jets defense is phenomenal, but to allow Zach Wilson to come back in the fourth quarter like he did, you should be ashamed of yourselves. I know Josh Allen already took credit for the loss, and he should. He played like dog shit. Shout out to the corner out of Whitehead. Jordan Whitehead, I believe is his name, out of the Jets. He had 3 interceptions today. And I just think that the Bills, they're a fucking mess, dude. They are dog shit.
Allen's going to lose any game he goes into overtime, 0-5 in overtime. Overtime's just not his game. But, hey, this time he got the ball first. So he has no excuse.
No excuse?
No excuse.
Are we going, Mark, are we going team or are we going individual plair?
Just anything. Any overreaction that you saw. Like, I did the whole team of the Bills. The whole team.
Overreaction. I am going Danny Dimes. I've been saying it since he got paid. The guy is overrated. The guy is just not good. You look at the numbers. He does not deserve to be paid the money that he is, and I hope that the Giants fucking suffer through that payday for the next 4 years or 4 or 5 years, whatever he got that extension for. I'll give him the excuse, the rain this week, the pressure coming from that Dallas front, but I'm telling you, going forward, you're not going to see it different. You know why? Because we haven't in the last 2 or 3 years that he's been playing the game. So to think it's going to be any different now, just because now that week 1's over and he doesn't have the Cowboys for a while, it's not going to be any different. When this guy still puts up 2,400 yards passing and 16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, come back and tell me why Danny Dimes deserves $50 million a year.
Oh man, love it.
He's just not good.
Nah. I'm with you on that one, Doc, honestly.
I'm not like Lamar earned his money. I mean, I don't think Lamar is, he had that MVP year, but Lamar earned his money. Lamar does a lot with the run game, with adding to everything. A lot of people that got paid, I think, deserve to get paid. Danny Dimes is the one dude in this league all offseason that did not deserve that payday.
We'll see it. Luke, Chris.
Especially when you wouldn't pay Saquon.
Raiders are going to win the AFC West.
Watch your fucking mouth. Raiders suck.
Go Raiders. Hey, they're the only team in the AFC West that has a win.
No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, the only thing that's going to stop the Raiders, I think, is Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's a good game manager, dude.
I'm going Cowboys to the NFC title game. NFC Championship.
You don't want to go farther? You don't want to go Super Bowl?
Super Bowl?
No,
it's open right now. Rodgers looks like he's going to be out a while. Super Bowl's open.
No, well, I think they're going to make it to the championship game.
That's right.
It'll be them versus the 49ers. And I think toss up from there. I think Cowboys defense is going to carry in this season. I think Dak's going to do just enough to not lose games. Pollard's going to fucking dominate this year and maybe see a little more despawn action.
Hey, and I think I lost my Super Bowl pick, by the way, too. The Jets, if Aaron Rodgers, they are fearing it's an Achilles. It's the year.
Yeah, he's
I
out.
lost my Super Bowl pick. Yeah, I lost. I have an excuse now. I know people said, "Well, what's going to happen?" Well, I have an excuse now.
Switching the Jets out of my Super Bowl too.
Hey, you need to just keep riding with the Jets. It's Zach Wilson time.
It's the milf hunter.
I had the Jags as my Super Bowl team, favored to win.
I'll tell you right now, I might actually pay Zach Wilson over Danny Dimes.
Also, real quick though, with Aaron Rodgers being hurt, though, real quick, if he is hurt and he can't play the rest of the year, the Packers will only get a second-round pick next year. They will not get that conditional first-rounder that they were supposed to get because the percentage of plays. He was supposed to play 60% of the snaps. He didn't even play 60% of the offensive snaps tonight.
He didn't even play 6 minutes.
One last fuck you to the Packers from Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck you, Packers!
But, hey, this is All About the Balls podcast. If you haven't listened to it, listen to the fantasy episode. It's going to be a quick 30-minute episode just about of us giving our waiver hits, some of our must-starts, must-sits out here, what we think for Week 2. I'm Mark Davis. That's Chris Meinhardt. Good win with the Saints. That's Luke Rule. Big win with the Ravens. That's Nick Doc Skirkwin. Sorry about the Bears. The Packers still own you. This is All About the Balls podcast. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram @The Sack House.